Hey guys, Daramus555 here. Just coming to you guys with a deck profile. Hopefully you're enjoying all the videos I'm doing lately. Windups. It's windups. I love windups. One of my favorite decks. This is a fun build. This is not like a really highly competitive build. If it was highly competitive, I'd be running Soul Drains. Sorry, Soul Charge. I always call it Soul Drain. Seems like it's not just me that does it though. A lot of people end up doing that. But yeah, I love this deck. This is like the one deck that I'll always go back to. I always like take it apart and try like a different deck, and then I'm like, I hate this deck, and I'll put windups back together just because I know the deck so well, and I end up always doing really well with it when I play it. So regardless of my build, like it's just one of those decks. If you know how to play it really well, it's one of those things that's like very clutch, and you can do well with it. It's kind of like Tim Bailey, like he thinks windups is the best deck in the game. I think that's just kind of him talking out of his butt, but it's a fantastic deck, and I think it's one of those decks that it's very skill based, and I think that's why he generally does very well with it, and he bubbles so often with it in YCSs because he does know the deck so well, and you know it can take you to a really high place if you know how to play it properly. So anyways, without further ado, let's get on to the deck profile. So 3 Windup Rabbit, nothing to say about that. In my opinion, he's the best card in the deck. He dodges back rows. He lets you abuse the effects of windups by banishing them and having them return to the field next turn. And there's just a lot of really cool combos you can do with them. 3 Windup Rats. This guy's really good as well, but I hate opening with him. Like, if you open with this guy, you're just like, frick, is your only windup? And I have sometimes where I open with 2. I'm starting to think that maybe I should switch the sleeves with these for the sleeves of the sharks in my deck. That might actually end up being better. I just have a feeling that when I do that, it's just not going to work out, so... and then we have 3 Windup Shark, obviously. It's Shark, you have to run 3. I really want Windup Zen Mighty to come back to 1. I don't think the card's a problem anymore. I get that if you open like Tour Guide Shark, you have like a first turn 3 monsters on board. But it's nothing amazing, and I mean, there's a lot more broken combos in the game than that. It's really just a +1 combo, and I feel like the deck, you know, obviously with Factory, opening Factory Shark Tour Guide would be nuts, but I mean, it still needs to come back because I feel like Zen Mighty's just not that broken. I feel like he's fine at 1. I think Hunter was ultimately the problem, not Zen Mighty. So 1 Magician. Tim Bailey, I mean, him we're talking about this. He thinks the Magician could potentially go back up past 1. I don't think it could or is going to happen. I think it's way too abusable, and honestly, I'm happy with it at 1. I like searching just the 1 and knowing I can abuse it that way. And you thin out the deck so fast with just the 1 in Factory that generally, like, I feel like 2 you would just run out of steam really fast. Obviously, you get more combos out of it, so that might be a scrubby thing for me to say. Obviously, you know, if it came back to 2 or 3, I'd be happy. But I personally would love Zen Mighty to come back instead. 1 Warrior, not 2. You don't need 2. I was testing 2 just for funsies. And then I was playing 3 Tour Guides and Curry Bandit. Curry Bandit was kind of nice. You could, like, if you're running Soul Charge, you can just like end phase Curry Bandit if you draw it and grab Factory, or you can grab a Soul Charge, of course. Mill a bunch of windups, and the next turn you can just win. But yeah, just the 1 Warrior's just fine. You're like 2 he's only good if you really draw him with Shark. And ideally, what you want to get going first of all is you want to get the Rabbit with the Factory kind of. Searching out your whole deck. That's generally what you want to do. You don't want to just like summon a warrior, you know, special shark, get a search, and then like overlay for a 4 or a 5. Like, it's just not that great of a play. It's not bad. Like, it kind of sets you up a nice board, but then you kind of waste one of your sharks, and I don't know. I'm just not a huge fan of that play. So I don't like drawing warrior. He's kind of just in your deck for when you need to do that play. I am running 2 Tour Guides again. I noticed I was missing this a lot. It sucks when you draw both, but just like opening a Tour Guide is always kind of clutch. Alucard is really, really good. He's not super great now that, you know, artifacts are a deck, but I mean, it's really good against, you know, stuff that sets like Evils, Gravekeepers, anything that you know is playing Battle Searchers. It's not very good against the hands, obviously, because they get their effects off and they'll just pop the Alucard, but Alucard's still a great card, and yeah, I just like the 2 Tour Guide, because if you open Tour Guide Shark, it's just such a power play. So that's it for the monsters. I'm not running any card Ds. I would be running 2, but excuse me, sorry. I'm running them in my my Inzectors, and I kind of have finally have 4 decks together without having to switch cards out, so it's kind of nice. 3 Windup Factories. Obviously, it's the best card in the deck. You have to run 3. I saw that stupid kid at that YCS playing 2. And I don't know how anybody saw my comment, but I literally almost threw up when I was watching that deck profile. I was like, oh, cool, windups just split top. He's like, yeah, go through my cards, 2 factory. And he just, like, he did it so fast. And, like, I think it was on your Yu-Gi-Oh channel. Your Yu-Gi-Oh channel didn't even say, like, what? 2 factory? Like, he just let him keep going. And the guy never mentioned it for the rest of the video. And I thought it was just the funniest thing ever. It's like, dude, factory is at 3. You should play 3 because you want to open Rabbit Factory and start getting things going. I didn't get the logic behind it at all, and I still don't. I'm running 2 Sharded Greeds. These are my replacements for the Card Ds. It's obviously not Card D, but the thing about this card that's really fun is if it does go off, it's really good. And secondly, you generally are going to have these 2 on the board, and your opponent's going to be wanting to get this off instead of this. So it's kind of like, it's like, okay, you can MST my factory, and it leaves me in a really good spot because I'm going to draw 2 and possibly draw another factory. Or you can MST my shard, and I still have my factory, and I'm searching out my whole deck and plussing. So I think personally the better one to hit is the factory, not the shard. So somehow you can pop 2, but I do run like 14 traps or something in here, so generally you have protection for them as well. But this card's actually really good. It's a lot of fun. Like I said, this isn't like a highly competitive build, so if you do have shards, I do recommend trying them in here. I am running 1 Tenki in here now as well, so I find a lot of times I'll like activate the Tenki and people just MST it right off the bat because they don't know what deck you're playing right away. And then you might have like a shard and a factory still in your hand, and they wasted their MST on the Tenki. So 2 Pot of Dualities, 3 is too much. 2's that perfect number. I never really liked 3 Duality. Like even as Zectors when I was testing a lot, I'm not a huge fan of 3. Like I know you want to get to your stuff quickly, but I just find opening 2 Duality is just so slow. If I'm a 2, like you usually if you're if you do the math in your head, like your chances of opening 1 is fairly high or drawing into 1 out of a 6-card hand. So 3 MSTs, I still think the card's great at 3. Even with artifacts is a thing. I know a lot of people aren't running Fiendish Chain anymore, so I guess they're doing that so people can't blind MST as effectively because, well, people are going to be blind MSTing because artifacts are a thing. Everyone's afraid of them, but people are still playing Fiendish Chain. Everybody's on the Breakthrough Skill bandwagon. I personally am not a fan of Breakthrough Skill. I think it's a really good card, more so for its secondary effect that you can like use it in the graveyard, banish, and then you just negate the effect of a face-up monster. That's really handy. I don't like how it just negates a monster effect when it's set, because generally, like, just negating a monster effect is like, okay, they're probably just going to keep going anyways, especially in this format, in this game. They're going to have outs, and Fiendish Chain at least is like, okay, if they don't, I can at least stop their attack, and it's just really handy. Plus, Fiendish Chain is continuous, which I really like as well. This deck is very susceptible to Full House, by the way. Be aware of that. The 1 Tenki, like I said, just searches the one of the rabbits. I noticed I was running Thunder King over that before because that was kind of my old monster lineup, and I don't mind Thunder King, but I just find after testing, especially in Evils and some other decks, that you open Thunder King, it's great when you just activate it. It's really, really nice. But if you draw it, don't open it first turn, which is going to happen often because it's only at 1. It's really inconsistent. You're just going to draw it and you're going to be like, oh, I wish this was something else. Or you're going to draw it at a time where you already have a good board presence and it just doesn't do anything. So I decided to cut it out for the Tenki because ultimately I want to get to Rabbit and get the factory going as soon as possible. I don't like opening Rabbit with Tenki, so I don't want to play 2 Tenkis because that's just bad because you usually want to like just open 1 Rabbit, get your searches going, grab the Magician, and then you start doing your combos and you're going to special your other rabbits from the deck. So 1 Book of Moon. And I am running Dark Hole in here still. I think Dark Hole is one of those really good cards this format. I think Torrential is better. If you have to pick between the 2, I'd pick Torrential over Dark Hole. But with everyone soul draining and kind of field spamming right now, I feel like it's just a really clutch card. And honestly, with Dark Hole as well, it's nice because you can have a nice comeback with it, and it works well with this deck because if you have a rabbit on the board, you can obviously just banish, which we all already know. So on to the traps. 3 Fiendish Chain. I love this card. It's great. I finally have 8, so I can run 3 in one deck, 3 in another, and 2 in the other one. 2 Mind Crush. This card's awesome right now. It's so good. Your opponent's, Curry Bandits add Soul Charge. You just flip Mind Crush, and I've hit like 2 Soul Charges off this. I've hit like Iron Cores off of this and stuff too. It's just really, really good card. I don't have wiretaps. I don't buy any of the new cards, as you guys know, so I don't have any, but I'm still running 7 Tools. I think it's a great card. It's fine if you're not running Soul Charge. Wiretap's better if you're running Soul Charge for the pure fact that obviously 7 Tools you pay life points, but if you don't have wiretaps, I think 7 Tools is fine. Battle Traps are running 2 Mirror Force, 1 D Prison. I only have 1 spare D Prison, otherwise I would probably cut the 2 Mirror Forces out and run another trap and then just run the 3rd D Prison, but this is fine. It's testing well. I don't really hate Mirror Force. I still like it. I think it's a great card, but right now, D Prison's very, very good. 1 Compulsory. I still like this card. 1 Bottomless. 1 Torrential Tribute. And 1 Solemn Warning. So that's the main deck. 40 cards. Always 40 cards. Never 41. Bad, bad, bad. What do we got here? 10 minutes. All right. So I just got the extra deck to do. I am missing a couple cards for this, but I mean, it's pretty much done. Actually, the only guy I'm missing is Alucard, I believe. Alucard and 101. As I said in my previous deck profiles, 101 is just obscenely expensive right now. And I do have an Equipped Engineer. Did I say Alucard? I meant Equipped Engineer. I do have one, will be coming in the mail in a couple weeks. Finally. It's only like a $2 card now, so I don't know why I've been having such a hard time finding one. So extra deck. 1 Gaia Dragon. I finally got one. Julio, thank you if you watch this. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Finally got one. It's first dead too. Tiras. 1 Volcasaurus. That's it for 5s. Just the 2. Zen Mayo is not good anymore. I expect him to drop in price a lot because popping random sets is just not good if you're playing artifacts. And you don't know if you're playing artifacts. So 1 Papal Operative for the combo. Black Ship, he's my replacement for 101, but I still actually really like Black Ship. I think he's a great card. He's very good against Boojins because they always dump hair first. So if you can just like make Black Ship and then blow up their Yamato, you're in a pretty good spot. Diamond Direwolf, he's great. Combos obviously with Rabbit and Rat. Emerald lets you recycle your monsters. I love Emerald. Maestroke. And Dwellers, my last level 4. He's really good right now just because everyone's running those hand cards. He's excellent in this deck as well because generally you're going to make 2, or you're going to make a rank 4 off of a Shark and another level 4, possibly Mage or Warrior. And obviously Dweller will gain the attack boost from Sharks, so that's really good. Rank 3s, I'm running 1 Acid Golem. He's just there for, I'll probably put Equipped Engineer in for this guy, but he's just nice to have as a beater. I don't like his effect, but Skill Drain is a card, and if you get the 2 rabbits coming back and they have Skill Drain, you can just like overlay, and you're in a fairly good position there. The nice 3k beater. 1 Leviathan Dragon. Leviair for combos. Alucard, very good. X-Saber Invoker. If you don't have Alucard right now, I would say for a cheaper alternative, he's not as good, but you could actually run... I would even say he might be better right now because of artifacts, but you could run Soul of Silver Mountain instead. He's a lot more affordable. I think he's like $2 because Alucard right now is like... I got mine for cheap, but I think he's about $35 or something now for the Alti first ed, which is nuts. And Zenmain's the last card. So that's the deck profile, guys. Wind-ups. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. We'll have the deck list down below if you already haven't noticed that. Otherwise, I will most likely have my Inzektor list up for you guys next. That or Pure Card Curry. Pure Card Curry is nuts. It's super nuts. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Peace.